Chat, welcome to the show. A little bit later than usual tonight, even by my standards. It's time for the penultimate edition of Club Kirby for 2023. How time has flown. We started doing the stream again back in mid-September, and now it's almost the end of the year. Where am I? Right, I hope everything's going to work. I feel like I didn't do a lot of prep work tonight before the stream started. I did a little bit, but here I am. I'm not... Oh, I am moving when I'm talking. Okay. I was worried that my model wasn't already there before the stream had even started. Welcome to the stream. This is Club Kirby. It's a comic book art stream. Usually we do comic book art. Well, we're kind of doing something related tonight, okay? I'll get to it. If you're unfamiliar with the world of Kirby, first of all, welcome. I'm John Porter. I'm an Aberdeenshire, Scotland based comic artist and writer, and I suppose Twitch streamer and YouTube streamer as well. I have to accommodate all the different platforms we're on, you see. Yeah, if you want to learn all about Kirby, you can go to vcmc.com and you can click on the various links. I'm going to take you to the comics page, and on there you can read all about how to get a copy of issue 1 of Kirby, the expanded and remastered edition, which came out a couple of weeks before Halloween. And you can get it from a bunch of different platforms as a digital comic. You can get it from the official Kirby merch store, powered by Teespring. You can get it through Ko-fi, you can get it on Gumroad, you can get it from Drive-Thru Comics, you can get it on Kobo, and if you're on Kobo Plus, if you're a Kobo Plus subscriber, you can get it at no extra charge as part of your subscription. You can get it from Google Play, you can get it on Amazon or your Kindle, and you can read it on Global Comics as well. There you go. Almost flubbed it partway through there, but that was a near flawless recital of my spiel. I'm getting better, don't you think? I have to do that at the start of every stream, so that's my plug. I have to plug the comic because that's how this works. It's a commercial enterprise, okay? But we're not going to be drawing comic as such today. Okay. This meme is doing the rounds. It's a Steven Universe meme. My introduction to it wasn't through Steven Universe. I just thought people from other fandoms adapting it, and then I was like, I had to circle back and go, what is this from? But the energy of it, I was like, I need to do this with Kirby and MG, or Morgan if you prefer. Kirby calls her MG for short. And I just thought it's exactly the same energy that they have in terms of like, it's a thing that happens a lot in the comics as, you know, Karen as Kirby is sort of brought into this world and is acting like on Morgan's behalf and ends up having to clean up a lot of her messes reluctantly. So as soon as I saw it, I thought that's like the same kind of energy. I was like, oh, Karen, yeah, this is what you're gonna have to do, and she's just like, So I have to. I said I have to draw that. So that's what we're gonna do today. Okay, we're gonna finish off this. I would have been on a lot earlier tonight if I had just started drawing this from scratch off air. But I got absorbed in actually drawing it. So you can see we're part of the way done. But knowing how slow I am at drawing, it's probably going to take us like an hour. We're going to do 2 hours tonight. We'll be off just before midnight, I think. Hour 1 we're going to be working on this. Hour 2 we're going to be playing a new game, assuming that everything works. And I'm really not 100% sure that it's going to... We're going to be playing a game called Life After Magic, which is a visual novel game, and I'm really hoping it's going to work. So let's move into Start drawing some of the details on Kirby here. Now I say that I really don't know if my machine can handle Life After Magic, and the reason that I say that is that's pretty bad, because it is not an advanced game. It's not a flashy game. It's literally just like, from what I've seen, just the images on the screen. Static images. But my computer, I was just thinking about this today. Well, we've kind of seen it in some of the previous streams, because when I'm playing Super Mario World on stream, occasionally you'll see we just get like moments of slowdown when there's too many sprites on screen, and we should not be getting slowdown on a Super Nintendo game. Come on. NES games we seem to be able to just about handle, but apparently anything more sophisticated than that, if I try and do it while I'm streaming, it's like the system slows down, and that's bad. So I really don't know how things are going to play if we try and play this game on stream. And the reason for that is, chat, my computer ultimately my computer is getting on in years now. Like, my desktop PC is so old now that I suspect some of my viewership would have been very young when that computer was built. Like, probably like, so I think some of the viewership is going to be like, you would have been like a toddler when my computer was built, okay? Or you were like a, you know, a school child at least. Maybe now you're a bit older, but and that's me trying to like guesstimate at how old people who watch my streams are, based on sort of the feedback I get and things. But my point is, I'll tell you, my computer was built on my behalf by my dad to my basic specifications when I started to get back into comics again. Well, actually it was a little while after that, because it was 2013. It was when my computer was built. Now, don't panic. Not all the elements of my computer as it stands are from 2013. Some of it has been swapped out since then, right? But the graphics card is more recent. We swapped it out a couple of years ago. We put an SSD in it and a bigger hard drive, I think. I put a Blu-ray drive in it a couple of years ago, so some of the elements are not that old. Right? The Blu-ray drive swap was replacing an old DVD drive, so some parts of it have been swapped out. But my motherboard is from I think it's from 2013 when it was built. My processor, I checked it earlier tonight. The processor that's on this computer is from 2013. So we're like way overdue for an upgrade, right? Since we're running in Linux, usually we can get away with it because it's, you know, older hardware seems to just operate better in Linux where there's less bloat. But if we're going to do games and stuff and we're often on stream, I feel like it's time to do something about that. Right? We're way past due to start to upgrade the components of this PC. So I'm thinking about it. The problem is I'm Scottish and I'm thrifty, right? And I don't want to spend a lot of money, and I don't want to spend any more money than I absolutely need to. So, the way it's probably going to go is I'm going to have to find the most low cost option that I absolutely can, right? I've had that drilled into me. Like, that was, my dad was really big into building PCs, and my dad just in general like instilled in me the thing of you do not pay more than you need to for any sort of thing like that, like consumer electronics or anything like that. You can never you never pay like standard retail price, right? You always go to get a good deal. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I've got to do it on a budget and really get like the most bang for my buck. So I think that may be a project for like 2024. Maybe I'll justify it by saying it's for my birthday, right? My birthday's in February. Beginning of February, so that really only gives me over, once Christmas is done with that, really only gives me like a month. Figure it out if I want to do something for my birthday. So I don't know. More news as we figure it out. This is the second last stream that I'm doing in 2023. We're going to do one more tomorrow, and then I'm on break over the festive period, so I'll have some time to think about it and plan out what we're going to do. I thought it would just be fun tonight to do something a little bit different, because basically we'll be doing nothing but comic streams non-stop for, well, really since Club Kirby started again in like early September, mid-September. And I just wanted to do a little project here, something just kind of fun as we, move it in the Christmas period. I'm just gonna chill for a bit, you know? Okay, I'm gonna get Joss through the hand here. Like that. That'd be a little bit too far. I haven't got the positioning of that exactly right. Sometimes it's hard to get the shape of the chest plate armor to be exactly symmetrical. And I'm such a stickler. This should actually be, it's the usual thing, right? I always say I go too hard, basically. I put too much effort into something. It should just have been like a fun little doodle. Like if you're doing something that's in the spirit of the original meme, right? Obviously it's very sort of lo-fi, right? It's very simplified, and that's all it needs to be. But this me being me, you can see that for my interpretation of it, or my version, it's becoming a bit more elaborate. So what I'm probably going to do is I'll trim around it. So I don't think we're actually going to end up using all of it. That's worse, because that means I'm putting in a lot of effort into, again, some areas that we probably will never see. I don't know if I've ever talked about this on stream. I have talked about in the past my issues with Morrigan's headdress, which I've only done in this basic fashion here, right? I just have some placeholder lines in there just now to figure out where it's going to go. But I think I kind of hinted that there's a similar issue with the spikes on Corbie's outfit, on her armor, and the thing with that is the armor, I think it was designed to be, I wanted it to have a certain sort of look, and I know I've definitely talked about this before. I wanted the look to be very distinctive and to meet with that rule that's especially important in like animation. It's just a good visual design rule in general, is that when you're designing a character you want the silhouette to be distinctive, right? If I just filled in the character in black here, if you're a reader of Corbie, then you would know who it is, right? You wouldn't need to see the interior details, you could tell just from the shape that that's Corbie. So, hold on, move the window out of the way. You can't see that, but I can see it. So that was like my principal thing with designing the Corbie armor, but another aspect of it was I had to try and figure out the practicalities of it and how it all works. So, in case you were ever wondering, hold on, let me get my red pen. The way that it works, and you'll sometimes see this if it's if there's a point in the comic where Corbie's arms are raised above her head, like in issue, is it issue 3 or issue 4? Issue 4, I think it is. Yeah, it must be issue 4. That starts with Corbie picking up the wolves over her head, and these parts are not actually connected to the main chest plate. What I mean is they're not fixed to the main chest plate, so they will actually rotate with the arm. Maybe it's up in the air. They just, when the arms are to her side, they sort of comprise the whole wing. It's like the bird design. Okay. But I had to figure out. I had to make it. I had to think about these things when I was designing the armor, trying to figure out how it all works. And that kind of sense of movement as well, figuring out how when Karen is Corbie, when she's in the armor, trying to figure out how it would actually move in real life, the different components of it, so that so that she can actually get around in it, and it's not rigid, was a major consideration back in the day when I was designing it. The armor went through a bunch of iterations between the early days of figuring out what I wanted to do with Corbie, long before the comic was actually a thing, right? Going back to the early 2010s, when the comic was really an idea that I was working towards rather than something I was actually working on. But I would try and come up with ideas of it, I would do illustrations of this is what I think the concept is like, and they never landed. It took until much later in development, it was literally years before I was able to get it right and get it the way that I wanted it to be. And part of that process of getting it the way that I wanted it to be was figuring out these considerations as well. So, you know, there have to be areas where it can't be rigid, and it has to have a bit of flexibility so that she can move. So, you know, the whole core is like a series of tubes, and then the chest is like the protective armor bit because it doesn't need to rotate or anything. You know, there's other flexible material underneath the chest armor, of course, and it's, you know, there's basically the idea is that there's a flexible material as like an underlying layer of the whole armor, really. And then there are the areas that are, you know, have the overlay, like the chest and the lower legs, and only actually the upper legs do as well. You can sort of see these flex areas in the elbows and the knees and the core. They give her like a degree of movement and around the neck as well, so that she can be mobile and not entirely rigid, like you would be, you know, if it was like an old-timey sort of medieval knight's armor or something like that. Like Robocop or something, where, you know, she's like sort of stomping around and doesn't have like a degree of movement. And she couldn't be like that. The armor had to provide her with a degree of flexibility. I mean, that's just integral to doing a superhero comic, I think, in order for the comic to be able to work. I had to be able to figure these things out. How are we doing for time? No, for about 25 minutes. Okay. We're only going to do an hour of art tonight, and then we're going to do an hour of gaming. Assuming, like I said, everything works. See how much we can get done here in the time that we have. I'll get this heater on. There we go. Actually not been that cold here, chat. We did have a long cold spell a week or two ago. Things got really bad, but I would say this past week or so it's still been wet and grey, as it always is this time of year, I suppose. But it's not been like super cold. I wish that I could have been able to get outside more and like go for a walk or something. I haven't been able to yet. I'm still kind of trying to correct my sleeping patterns, and I'm not doing very well with that. Although I suppose I did wake up a bit earlier today. Okay, how are we doing? I didn't do the wings on. I think we're gonna assume that one set of wings is gonna extend B up behind MG here. And I'm not gonna do any kind of transparency effects or anything, by the way, on this particular image. Actually, now that I think about it, there's very little point in overthinking the wings, right? Because we're just going to crop the whole thing, so I'm kind of trying to figure out where the wings would go just to be curious about it, but probably shouldn't waste too much time on that. again. Nobody's ever going to see this. We're going to crop it down. That we're just getting the actual characters. And the other thing is I have to figure out how I'm going to incorporate the speech bubble into it as well. Okay, how will we do this? Let me just... Here's a little trick to figure things out. I'm going to paste a copy of the wing. I'm going to flip it for time-saving measure as much as anything. Flip the wing and try and place it where there we go, like that. And then, you know, actually, I don't usually do that. I don't usually just flip an element and then leave it, you know, because I'm so stubborn and I feel like I have to be a purist and do everything by hand and not have everything be too like mechanical. I'm not just copying and pasting aspects of the art rather than doing it by hand. Is it can make everything seem a bit too cold, you know. And that what am I trying to say here? I'm trying to say that I would rather go in and draw the other wing entirely by hand rather than just copy paste it and dump it on the page, on the canvas. Because I feel like if everything is too symmetrical and too perfect, that gives the images, it's like a sort of a sterile feel and makes it like, you know, it's too digital, too artificial. And I want to sort of bring more of an old-fashioned hand-drawn element to remember. Even though, you know, what I'm doing here is digital, I still wanted to have that kind of feel to it, at least to a degree, right? So, but ultimately, all we ended up doing there was just a little bit of the wing, so we can kind of see Kirby's wings on either side. Okay, that's fine. We'll merge it back into the main line art. Okay, we can turn off the layer beneath that now. The way that, actually I'll show you, the way that this worked was, started off with this, I can turn the opacity up on this. Started with a blank canvas and just began drawing this sort of rough outline of the placement of the characters and how I wanted the pose to be. And I did change the pose a little bit from the pose here where she's got her hand being placed on Stephen's shoulder. And I did actually try going with that at first. I was having trouble with, like, you know, the placement of the characters and getting it to work, and also I just kind of started thinking, no, I feel like Morrigan's just a bit more sort of playful than that, you know. She's just like, oh, I think we're gonna have to kill this guy, Corbie. Damn. So it's just like a little adjustment to make it fit with these characters, you know. I think it just works a little better for these two. Okay, there's still a lot of work to do to get all of this to click and to, like, a lot of the line art here is really sort of scruffy and isn't, like, you know, finalized. I'm just kind of concentrating on just get everything in place. It's interesting because I don't think that was something that was always present in my work, but It's something that's sort of developed over the last couple of months as my process has sort of evolved at this thing of just get these sort of scrappy lines on the page, and then you can go back and refine it later. And sometimes what I'll do is I will just take an eraser and sort of whittle down the lines to get them to where I want them to be, and sometimes I'll just like, no, it's such a mess. What I'm going to do is I'll just draw over it on a new layer, just make like a clean version. It really depends. It depends on how messy I've been. If I've been super messy, you know, in early goings, sometimes it's like just do a new version, just start over. I guess it's actually, you can see that as like an evolution of, you know, from back in the day when I would have done everything by pencil, right? And when you're working with pencil, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of like erasing, your sort of your earliest lines, and refining, and back and erasing and redoing, and it's constantly like that until you get to what you want, exactly what you want. I suppose I'm unconsciously trying to replicate that. How are we doing for time? About 35 minutes into the stream, so we're going to keep going for a little while yet. And then hour 2, we do a lot about gaming. It's so nice to be able to just work on a very small project like this. I don't even know if I'm going to colour this. I might just leave it at the basic line art, right? And just let it be. And it would be a nice way to round off everything we've been doing on stream, because we're always working on these big projects, doing comic pages that seem to take days and days to complete. I just thought it'd be nice to do something a bit more low stakes than usual. Okay, the headdress is... Did I not even... I haven't even done this chunk of it yet. Okay, I'm not gonna work this. Into both sides, kind of symmetrical. Chat, if there's one thing I've got to do over the Christmas period, I need to go and fix this chair. It's still creaking all the time when I'm drawing, and I have not... I was talking about that weeks ago. I said I was going to get some WD-40. I know we do have some. And fix this creaking office chair, this desk chair. It makes an awful lot of noise when I'm on stream. It seems to be getting noisier, if anything. I'm sure that would fix it. I know that was what happened with the door to my bedroom. It was getting increasingly creaky every time I opened it, right? I would go to walk out to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, and it would just make like a howling, creaking noise. And eventually, I said, I've got to break out the WD-40 and I've got to see if I can do anything about it. And as soon as I applied it, it was like as if by magic, you know, because it stopped creaking. So I think that's what I need to do here. Okay, and again we're just sort of smoothing out all the little rough areas. The messy parts. And like I was saying, sometimes it's just easier to create a whole new layer and draw like a refined version of the art over the old one. That's what I did with that panel that we were working on the previous stream. And in that case, maybe that was a foolish thing. Maybe I could have saved myself like half a day's work by not doing that and just trying to fix up the old art. But I think in that case I just thought it's like I've put so much work into this page, I want it to be absolutely perfect, right? In this instance, I don't want to spend forever drawing what's just supposed to be like a silly doodle. So we're not going to do that. I'm just going to try and fix up the liner as is. I did actually think about just doing this by hand. I just break out like the pens and paper and just do it. A bit more like in the spirit of what the original image was like, you know? But we didn't end up going down that road. Also, I'm not set up to stream that way. The way that we used to do things back in the early days of Club Kirby, in the before times, was I had a webcam mounted above my head here, and we used to just have the camera looking down on me, looking down on the desk, I should say, and you could see like what I was doing in real time. And obviously we've kind of moved away from that because now we do everything all digital. I'm thinking about maybe bringing a hand-drawn element back into the comic. To the extent that, and I don't want to keep going back and forth and changing my approach, but I'm kind of thinking about going back to like doing at least like the very rough idea about what I want the layouts for each page to be like by hand, and just do like a blocked out sort of marker pen version of them, and then bring that, scan them in, and just use those as build upon those instead of doing everything from scratch. I don't know if it would actually be a time saver. I'm going to think about it as we go into the new year. It's one of those things that's just like I have the idea in my head of how that would work. And I guess I just need to try it out and find out. Is it weird that we didn't do Kirby's visor yet? I can do that now. Still have to go in and fix up all the details of the helmet, but it would be something like that. We can add a little bit of thickness in the bottom. Yeah. Yeah. Give it a little bit of like a three-dimensional element to them. They can be a little bit lighter on top. I don't feel like I got the shape right. It's just a very basic one. We can just fill that in just now and I'll come back to it. Let's go back to MG. Fix her block a bit. Okay. Keep watching the clock. Still got a little bit of time. Okay. I'm always watching the clock as if like somebody's gonna come strike me down if I go over like the, you know, it's like that's 61 minutes. It's like you can't draw anymore. It's like, well, I think, you know, nobody's gonna come in and stop me. No law against it. If anything, it should be fine for us to actually go over it a little bit, you know, do a little bit more than an hour, because you know, usually I'm trying to do like 3-hour streams most of the time now, where the first hour is the art stream, the second hour we just like chat or do some mess around, and then the third hour we do like a gaming stream. It's a little bit difficult to manage that at this time of year, unfortunately, is what I'm finding. But when we get into, again, I'm talking a lot tonight about my plans for the new year, but when we get into the new year, I really want to work harder on just like refining my sort of everything that we're doing with the streams. And I think you can kind of see that if you go back to where we were in like September when we started doing the live streams again. It's been like a gradual process of trying to improve it and doing a better show. And figuring out what works and what doesn't. So when we come back in the new year, I want to get into a much more steady schedule of when we're actually on air, be more consistent. And just continue to like polish, come up with a more polished product, if you know what I mean. It's funny, I'm talking about all these ideas I have about things I want to do in the new year. I'm not like a New Year's resolution type of person. I guess it's just sort of the way that things have played out recently. I have a lot of big ideas about things that I want to do and finding better ways of doing things. Okay, things are actually starting to kind of come together a bit more now. There's still some messy areas like up here. Sheesh. I don't know if you heard that, my elbow just like thumped down on the desk there. Okay, I think I'm gonna go in and fix this up. Just have the shape of the spike of the headdress here just be a bit more consistent with the other ones. I feel like this music is appropriate. Just for this scene. I think we're gonna have to kill this guy, Kirby. And there's a lot of cleaning up to do actually just to get all the lines exactly the way that I want them to be. Everything would be so messy. I don't know what the shape of this nose is. Oh, that makes a lot more sense. You know, the reason why I end up having to make all these refinements is just the nature of the way that I've been working recently, and just I get lines down on the page can, like I said, I'm just not worrying about so much about the mess. It's like getting the basic gesture down of what I want, you know. And then sometimes I have to go into the eraser and just chip away at things until I get like a shape that's vaguely like what I want. And then we can go back in later on, as we're doing now, and just sort of clean these lines up a bit. And then from that, I think what you end up with is like a combination of getting the gesture that you want. See what I mean? Like a cartoony sort of sense. You have the energy of the characters that you're trying to capture. That I think is like easier to get when you're just doing these sort of broad strokes and not getting too caught up in the details, and then later on, as we're doing now, you can go back in and refine it and get to those sort of get those really nice crisp details in there. The chair's being more talkative tonight than I am. Shh. You know, now that I think about it, pretty sure I got this desk chair about the same time that I got my desktop computer. As we said earlier, is more than a decade old now, and I don't think this chair has ever been oiled in all that time, so no wonder it's making such a noise. Okay. Right. Okay, that's definitely been more than an hour now, so can we just... we'll add a few little details to Morgan here. I think this is going to be about as far as we're going to get tonight. As far as this piece goes. Okay, yeah, we still need to add a few more little details now. I need to kind of go over CORBIE a little bit more and clean her up a bit. But that's not bad for one session, I would say. I need to make a note of it. I'll show you on tomorrow's stream final version of this. Or you can follow me on social media on Thread, on Mastodon, on Instagram. And I'll try and post this everywhere once it's done, okay? And with that, yeah, I should save this first of all. Let's see if I've done a half to... You get the idea. Right. Okay. An hour and 7 minutes, but really with startup time. About an hour. Almost on the dot, really. We're gonna move on to the second person ship. We're going to play a game that I've never played before, and like I said, I don't know if it's gonna work or not. Hopefully everything that I have running to keep the stream going and the game is not going to be too much for my aging PC, as we've talked about. So I will be back momentarily and we'll get into the next section of the stream. This will give you some idea about how haphazard the production of the stream is, right? How little planning goes into it. I didn't know about this game until I saw somebody recommending it today on Threads. And I just started the game and I was like, yes, I'd absolutely like to play this. A visual novel set in at the end of the 90s. And it's about like life after being a magical girl. So kind of not a million miles away from the stuff we like doing, in CORBIE and that kind of thing. So, and related to like my influences, this is I could tell just from looking at the game right away. It's like very Sailor Moon influenced. So there's that. Well, let me just take a quick sip of my drink. Right. I'm not gonna talk too much as we play the game. So I'm not gonna read out all the dialogue. I tried doing that once when we played the Phoenix route, and I just found it kind of exhausting. I'm sure you can read along with whatever's happening on screen. Oh, let me play it. I'm very nervous about this because I don't want it to lock up and run too slowly. So now that I think it's going to affect the in-game performance, but obviously I don't want it to be like stuttering or anything like that. I think you can see from like looking at the art style and that this is you can see that this would be right up John's alley, right? This is John's aesthetic. Okay, we're just gonna get into it and start playing the game. I'm just gonna use the default name. Right, it is 10:45. It's 11:45 just now. So we're gonna be off by 11:45. Okay. We're gonna do a tight hour in and out. I say we get on with the game. Okay, I did notice this when I set it up earlier on. I was like, is that a real-time clock? It says December 20th. And, because today is December 20th, so... No, it's actually the game is set in, it's December 20th, 1999, if you notice closely. Look closely there, you'll see. Just so happens that the game is set exactly, it starts exactly 24 years ago today. I could not have picked really a better time, I suppose, to start playing it. I really should be playing things that are more popular, by the way. I noticed that when I looked at the activity for this game on Twitch, I did think that, I mean, for me, it's like a small streamer, it's probably better for me to be playing like big games that, more people are looking into, right, and are watching on stream. But I couldn't resist this, obviously, and it's a free game, by the way, on Steam. Doesn't cost anything to play. Have we gone off? I'm looking at the Twitch stream on my other screen here, and I just get a blank screen. That's not good. It looks like the stream's off air. On Twitch, anyway. That's kind of annoying. Let me see if I can get back in. Oh no, we are. We're on. Okay. I do think right away this is a very interesting idea for okay. I really like this sort of concept of what you do when your days of being a hero are over and you kind of have to return to ordinary life. Like the step for I talked about this on Turtlethon because there was an episode of Turtles that was like this, where it's like Splinter orders the Turtles to break up, and they have to. He's like, no, and you can't live together. You have to all go your separate ways. And so they all end up getting different jobs that are sort of in line with their characters, right? And it was in turn, it was very like Ghostbusters 2, which starts off like that, which I also enjoy. In fact, it was really like Ghostbusters 2 to the point where I think it was like an influence on it. But you can go read the Turtleton entry for that. Splinter vanishes. I think it's one of the best Turtleton entries that I ever wrote, actually. And it's just a really good episode. I mean, it was the fact that it was such a good episode. Just lent itself to, you know, it really, I was really enthusiastic to write about. Anyway. There's a joke in book. Okay, yeah, I get the reference. Very good. I think that's kind of an obvious reference, but we'll work with it. It's kind of interesting. I don't know where we're going to go with this. There's going to be like a lot of Y2K hysteria in this game, Millennium Bug related stuff. But the timing certainly seems like it would be appropriate for. I guess we'll see as we go. I mean, it is really authentic. It's very like Sailor Moon with the file numbers. Sorry, but the numbers, serial numbers fell off. But I mean, that's not a bad thing. I quite appreciate that. We've got a choice of, could you give me more bagas to fight, or I want to eat ice cream under my bed sheets, then cry myself to sleep. Let's pick the second one. For how much ice cream do we have left in the freezer? Dying mall in 1999? Well, if you think malls are dying in 1999, wait till you get to 2023. Okay. Okay, let's calm her down. Forbes. A passing business magazine that props up successful rich people. Okay. So this is interesting. So is she like I get the sense that she's kind of like a mishmash of Sailor Mars and Sailor Venus, maybe? Like a bit of both? Yeah, so basically like the heroism is, I guess, being monetized, which is, I could see how that would... Yeah, exactly. She's using her image for marketing makeup products. I can see how that would rub you the wrong way. I think I'm going to go with the top option. I think we should defend magical girls. We're getting some friction here already. And what do we do here? Okay, I'm gonna stick up for him. Okay, we've already got somebody fired and we're only a couple of minutes into the game. Oh, have I vanished? What happened there? That's strange. Okay, hold on, chat. I'll just sort this out. Okay, right, we're back. Okay, choice of... Yeah, it was hard on all of us. I'd love to see what you're working on. I would have, but I also said it was the emergency. Let's go with the middle one. Okay, we've got to say you look amazing, because that is a look. They are easily the baddest of all these characters. I feel like things are already starting to disintegrate. This is not going well, huh? That's the bottom. Okay, but I guess that's the end of A1. I'm comfortable in the seat here. Let me just adjust something here and we'll continue. Oh, I've vanished again. I don't know about that, but I don't know how I keep disappearing tonight. Well, it's been a little bit longer. We'll get into day 2 now. Let's see what happens next. Okay, take that as a warning. Okay. Try and do this the right way, okay? And not deliberately, like, go with the worst option. Okay, something's up. Okay, we've got 2 options. We'll say scratch behind his ears. He's not doing well. All the options are the same. Okay. Be direct, be passive aggressive, or show him something shiny. Let's show him something shiny. Oh, it didn't work.
See ya.
Okay, I don't feel like that second day really accomplished very much. Now we're to day 3. Tell me work here first. Tell me work here. Oh, maybe that was a mistake. Oh, it got me in. Okay. We'll be honest. Ouch. I'm gonna go with the second one. Shit, oh god. I like the anime. Who should I do with the main character? Customer. As a matter of fact. What's the cage here? I just feel like asking about it more, but it would make much sense. Ask about statues. Yeah, let's be honest. Okay. Can we save? Yeah. I'm gonna leave it there, chat. I've really enjoyed this game. I think we'll come back to it tomorrow. Yeah, it seems to make a lot of sense. I don't know if we're gonna stick with it in the long term, because tomorrow, as I talked about earlier, tomorrow is gonna be the last stream that we're doing in 2023. It's the last thing that we're here before we break up for the festive period. I don't know what we're going to be doing art-wise tomorrow. I do have to make a mental note. I'll show you tomorrow what happened. I vanished. Well, that time I watched myself vanish. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm not going to be started. I'll just leave it there. It's a really odd thing seeing myself disappear like that. But we're going to come back tomorrow. We will work on something. We might work a little bit on the next page of issue 2. But until then, thank you for being here with me this evening. We didn't quite do 3 hours tonight, we only did 2. So a little bit shorter, but it was good to be back anyway. I know streaming has been sporadic lately. I need to be, like I said earlier, a bit more diligent about my streaming schedule. Hopefully get into more of a steady routine when we come back in the new year, but that's going to do it for now, and I hope to see you tomorrow for the last edition of 2023 of CORBIE.